In 1986, a radioactive material was found to contaminate the grounds at a nuclear reactor. And the amount of material is given by this function, an exponential decay function it's called, because its exponent is negative. That means the whole amount is going to start with 237 grams and then get smaller and smaller. So then, how much was there back in the year 2000? So what you got to do is say from 1986 to 2000, that's 14 years. So then that means use t equals 14. So for part A, it's going to be the amount will be 237 e to the negative 0.14 times 14. Well, that's a strange coincidence. 14 times 14. Yeah, definitely going to need to use a little calculator for this one. So we've got 237 e to the negative 0.14 times 14. So that would be 33.383, and then this is in grams. All right, now suppose that it was known that if there's 4 or less grams per acre or wherever the area is, if there's 4 or less grams, then people can come back and work there. So how long is it going to be until there's 4 grams? So that's saying the amount A is 4, and then it equals the 237 e to the negative 0.14 times t, and this time we're solving for t. Well, in order to get rid of this e on the exponential function, we need to use natural log of both sides. But right now this 237 is blocking it, so you got to get rid of the 237. In order to get rid of the 237, just divide. So divide by both sides by 237. And just go ahead and leave this as the fraction. Don't get decimal form, just leave it as the fraction. 4 divided by 237. The reason I say to just leave this is because we're going to have to use a calculator at the end anyway. So to be as accurate as possible, we're just going to type in this fraction. Now, take natural log of both sides. The natural log and the e are inverse operations, so they cancel each other out, leaving us just a 0.14 negative 14 t. On this side, natural log of the fraction. And then we just need to isolate the t, so divide both sides by the negative 0.14. And then we've got t equals, oh, go away, glare. Okay, so we've got the natural log of 4 divided by 237, and that's divided by negative 0.14. So that means 29.155 years later, but it didn't say find out how many years, it says during what year. So now you have to go back to the beginning of the story, 1986, and add on 29.155 years. So if you take 1986, add on the 29.155 years, that's the year 2015. So people cannot go back to that place, wherever it is, until 2015. So 2015.155 would be the year. And then, just for added fun, if you want to know like what month is that, because it's 2015 but then it's part of the way in, just take the decimal, which is basically saying 15.5% of a year. A year has 12 months, so that means it's the first month. And if you even take the 0.86 and say, well, the first month, January, has 31 days, it's the 26th. So to be more precise, January 26th of 2015.